Hi guys, I'm Angelica Brewer. I'm a realtor and physician relocation specialist based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. If you are entering main residency match, or even if you already matched to military match, urology, ophthalmology, and you are interested in buying a home or real estate as you go into your residency, this is the video for you. I know you're getting a lot of prep tips otherwise, just about different sort of areas of focus, but this is going to be specifically about real estate. So if you are thinking about becoming a homeowner, you're considering it, this video is going to be super helpful on some things that you can do to prep before match day. So first thing is going to be get to know about physician loans. So number one is going to be learning about physician loans. So I know a lot of people are not even aware that they exist, or they just don't know a lot about them. So physician loans are what is going to allow you to even have the capability, for the most part, to buy between match day and your program start date. Some of the good things about physician loans are going to be, one, that they are generally 0% down. So, you know, coming out of medical school, most people are not going to have anything saved up in order to use for a down payment. So physician loan is going to be 0% down, so that you don't have to worry about that. Second thing is going to be that they consider your student loan debt differently. So these loans were created because doctors are known to be the least likely to default on a mortgage loan. So these banks and these mortgage lenders want to build that relationship early on in your career. So they're willing to make special considerations for you. So they want your business, so they're going to take into account if you do have a higher student loan debt burden. They are not going to penalize you in the same way for that that a conventional loan would. So if you go to just any lender, if you try to go into a Chase, you go into one of these bigger banks, and they're not looking at you from the lens of a physician loan product, for the most part, they're going to tell you that you're denied. So that's the first mistake that I see people make, is that they say they want to buy a house, they've matched, they know where they're going, and they go straight to their bank that they bank with, just because, that is the easiest route. That's the first thing people think of, and they get denied, not understanding that they are getting denied because that bank doesn't have the correct loan product that they need to be using. So 0% down is not going to consider your student loan debt in the same way. And then you are also able to close on your house up to like 90 to 120 days before your actual program start date. So that allows you to go ahead and get closed, get settled into your new city before you start the craziness of your residency schedule. So really understanding physician loan products and seeking those out and seeing what the differences are and some of them that are offered is going to be my first piece of advice. Second is going to be research the top cities that are on your rank list. So I know everybody has a preference, everybody has a first choice where they want to end up, but one mistake that I see people make is that they get sort of stuck on that first choice. And so if they end up not landing there, they've done very little research on what they had ranked as second, third, fourth, fifth in terms of location. So I always suggest to look at your rank order list, or where you think things are going to be, and research at least the top 5 places that you have there. Obviously, depending on how many places you rank, you may not be able to research every single place, but at least your top 5 cities that you could land in. Do some preliminary research on the neighborhoods and the housing market there. One of the best ways to do that, so we're gonna write that down, research the top 5 cities. At least the top 5. One of the best ways to do that research is to actually connect with a realtor or physician relocation specialist specifically in that market. For the most part, they're going to be willing to connect with you. They should not charge you anything to do this initial consultation. But they're going to be able to connect and tell you more about what the real estate market looks like there. They're going to be able to tell you what is the average price point, what kind of housing are people who or doctors who are going into residency able to afford. You know, if you just find a random realtor like on TikTok or something like that, they might not have that same information. So I do always suggest finding somebody who specializes in working with doctors in residency. So they'll be able to tell you, where do they see residents buying homes? What type of homes do they see them able to afford? Are they usually buying single family? Are they buying condos, townhomes? And what neighborhoods are they landing in? And with that information, that'll equip you to kind of go back and do your own research online. So once they give you those neighborhood names, those price points that they generally see, you will be able to kind of go back on your own and get on the, you know, the third-party platforms where you can search for homes and do a little bit of your own research, just so you can kind of watch the market and know what might be available to you if you do land in that location. And third thing is going to be go to the second look visits. If you have the opportunity, because so many interviews are virtual now, and even if you went in person, maybe that was only your first or second time in that city, if you have the opportunity, go to the second look visits. The second look visits are going to give you the opportunity to be in the environment with the people from that program and in the city in a more relaxed setting, right? So like, even if you did go for interviews, you went and it was probably pretty intense, and it was pretty tense, and you were, you know, talking to people all day and answering these questions and really trying to make your best impression. The second look visits are going to give you an opportunity to just be in a more relaxed setting and to have a little more freedom to actually explore the different parts of the city if you want to. Generally, the program is probably going to have some additional resources for you too that give more details on the neighborhoods, on the things to do in the city, the amenities, the cost of living, what neighborhoods people are living in. So if you can, go to the second look visit. If you can't make it, make sure you request or ask from the program, like, hey, is there any additional resources or information that is going out to the people who are signing up for the second look visit? And if so, just ask if you can also get those resources. And then another thing is going to be to to try to, as much as possible, speak with some of the residents who are in the program. So of course you can get, even if you don't go to second look, you can get information from the program leadership and things like that. But when it comes to being realistic about where are residents living, what are neighborhoods that they're frequenting, what are they actually able to afford, and what's the cost of living like, try to talk to some residents who are actually living that life and going through it, because obviously, like, the coordinators, the directors, they give you as much as they can, but they are not in the trenches of it. So try to have those conversations, be as open as possible, say like, hey, this is the type of area that I'm used to, these are the type of neighborhoods that I'm used to, this is the city that I'm coming from. And if you can, try to connect with residents who are also from a similar background maybe, and who can kind of shed some light on, you know, these were the differences when I moved here, these were the things that I was a little bit shocked by, this was kind of some of the culture shock, and get perspective from them on where they've enjoyed being, what they've enjoyed doing, how they've connected with the city. And I think that can give you some good insight on what the quality of life will be like. So those are my quick tips on some real estate related things, especially if you are looking to possibly buy in the city where you match.